Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, bed crimers. As always, I wish you the best. To anyone new here, a warm welcome. Thank you for checking out my channel. Let me just ask that after listening to or watching this video, if you learned something or enjoyed it, please do me a favor and smash that like button. Now, let's dig in. The sole male victim in the case out of Moscow, Idaho, was Ethan Chapin. In an effort to ensure we don't lose sight of the young kids who lost their lives, I want to talk about Ethan today. Ethan's parents, Jim and Stacy, recently shared some details about the last time they saw their son alive and well. It was on November 6, 2022. Just 7 days before Ethan's death. Jim and Stacy were leaving the university after Parents' Weekend. They said they were trading high fives with their 3 kids, and the satisfaction was sinking in that their triplets were having the time of their lives. Stacy said this about herself and about her husband, Jim. We drove out of town that Sunday morning, and we literally high-fived each other that day. We literally congratulated each other. We've done it. They're adulting. They're kind. We've done it. We can rest easy. End quote. The tragedy is that the family had such a golden moment that weekend. And then just a week later, it all came crashing down. Stacy says the crime rocked the family to its core and threw them into the depths of hell. I saw an interview with Stacy and Jim Chapin early on after the crime, and they were saying how they needed to be strong because they had to be there for Ethan's sister Maisie and his brother Hunter. Ethan was a triplet, so the 3 children were particularly close. I remember thinking how strong and emotionally intelligent Jim and Stacy Chapin seemed. They were being so stoic because they knew Maisie and Hunter needed them to demonstrate how one survives a tragedy of this scale. From the way the Chapins spoke back then and how they're speaking now about their kids, it's clear that they are exceptional parents. They're grown-ups who have the skills to face life's storms with resilience and wisdom. They were not going to fall to pieces, even though they were hurting and continue to hurt. After Ethan's death, the Chapins went into lockdown. They spent 2 months with Maisie and Hunter at home. Stacy said the family just walked it out, talked, told stories, cried. She describes going for a walk alone at one point and crying so hard that when she came upon another walker, she was afraid that person would dial 911 because she looked so anguished. Can you imagine how much Ethan's girlfriend Xana must have gravitated towards Stacy Chapin? We've heard that Xana had a tendency to bond with her friends' mothers. I bet she was cultivating a beautiful relationship with both Jim and Stacy Chapin. After a week of listening to gut-wrenching testimony out of the Lori Vallow trial and hearing what these adults did to the innocent children, it warms my heart to think about the Chapins. These astonishingly wise parents told Fox News that they aren't angry. Jim Chapin explained why. He said, "That's negative energy, and it's not worth it," end quote. Stacy Chapin added, "It's an honest answer. It's a tough hand to be dealt, but we can't change the outcome." These days, the Chapins are channeling their grief into a foundation in Ethan's honor. It's called Ethan's Smile, and it started at a tulip farm in Mount Vernon, Washington, where Ethan worked during the COVID-19 lockdown of 2020. The farm created a special tulip mix in honor of Ethan. The Chapins launched the foundation with funds from the sales of the mix and bulbs. Ethan's Smile will fund scholarships for students in Skagit Valley, Washington, to the University of Idaho. The University of Idaho, for its part, is helping the Chapins heal. Jim and Stacy were recently made honorary graduates of the university, and Ethan's sister Maisie was named Sweetheart of the Sigma Chi fraternity that Ethan belonged to. Hunter was with Maisie when she received the honor, and if you look at the photo, you can see Maisie and Hunter smiling so much, and I find their smiles really reassuring. But of course, this doesn't mean that there won't be more hard moments for the family. Stacy says she's gearing up to make it through the next milestone, which will be Mother's Day. She said last year Ethan celebrated by sending her the new Morgan Wallen song, I Thought You Should Know. Wallen wrote it for his mom. Ethan felt it was fitting for his mother too. The song includes the lyrics, all those prayers you thought you wasted on me must have finally made their way on through. Stacy said it is now always going to be her favorite song. The Chapins look back at their time with Ethan, and they're saying they have no what ifs. Stacy said, I can honestly say I don't think we could have spent more time with our kids and our family, and it's because of that we don't have that regret, end quote. They also shared that their family motto is, go big or go home. That motto came about when Jim and Stacy got married. Jim already had 3 kids from a previous marriage, and fertility issues plagued him and Stacy. So when they found out that Stacy was pregnant with triplets, they found it such a go big or go home gift that it became the family motto. Stacy gave up her career to raise her 3 babies, while Jim ran the family business. The Chapins say they will not be attending Brian Koberger's preliminary hearing in June. They don't want the negative energy of it. They prefer to give their remaining children the gift of time. Jim said, we spend 110% of our time with our kids, end quote. And they pointed out how quickly kids grow up. I think we can all learn something from Stacy and Jim Chapin. They're able to say today that they have no regrets because they were present for Ethan's life. They spent all their extra time together as a family. If only all kids were lucky enough to have such together parents. Parents who do all they can to launch their children successfully into the world. Until the next time on Bedcrime Stories, did you learn anything? Did you enjoy this? If so, smash that like button.